This week I bike out of St. John's and I make it into Halifax to end the bike trip in a traditional manner. Enjoying time in St. John's. I made some Minnesota comfort food with my hosts Matt and Steph and Poppy. And Poppy is the most badass Yorkshire I ever have met. And Matt, if you wouldn't mind showing off her prison ink.
Do my damnedest.
There we go. Oh, you can see it. She's got her prison ink there from when she served time. That's what you get when you don't return a ball here in St. John's. So I just made some tater tot hot dish, and what was your thoughts?
I liked it.
Poppy liked it. It's questionable. No, it was quite tasty.
I liked it, yeah.
Even tater tots and all. It's quite nice.
There was skepticism about the tater tots on top.
Just wondering who decided to put tater tots on top instead of potato.
Mashed potato.
We
do it in Newfoundland.
It must have been a Lutheran. Rousing Thursday night in
Very rowdy. Very
Newfoundland, St. John's, Newfoundland. And we're drinking root beer.
Eating jam jams.
That's a strange water bottle that you have. And we are playing pickup sticks. Because apparently being 28 doesn't matter. What's your thought, Steph? What's your game plan?
I don't know.
Head down and give her. We'll do a regulation table bump.
Are we doing that?
That's oh yeah, man. That's house rules.
Are we counting them up? What's this? How do you count them?
Blue is 50, green is 40, red is 25, and yellow is 10. So, I have 45.
What is it?
Leaving Newfoundland, it took a 16-hour ferry into Nova Scotia. The ferry was pretty enjoyable. They had some music going from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. and they played a mix of Newfoundland folk music as well as some requests. From there, it was a 12-hour ride to Halifax, which I chose to split up into 2 days. I took 2 of these ferries. I've never had to pay for a ferry in Nova Scotia, but I think it's just getting a pass on my looks. I rode across the ferry by myself, and I was able to talk to the ferry minder. He said the ferry goes non-stop, 24/7, 365. Each crossing takes about 4 minutes, so you can calculate how much that is. After getting off the ferry, I felt a little loopy from a long day and little sleep the night before. What does a picky Irish toddler say during the winter? Why Coco, Ma? Kinda cool moment here in the highway in Nova Scotia. Giant thing of rocks that I don't really want to hit. Woo! No cars, and if there are cars, then you'll see what hits me. Instead, if I go down here, we're about to break 8,000 kilometers, which means 5,000 miles. And this is good because tomorrow I think is my destination to Halifax. And so that means the day before I'm doing 5,000. That feels good. And now for more biking. When I first saw this sign, I thought it said no drunk keys. And then I realized that I could read it as no drunk keys and it'd be totally fine. Just a wave and a cheeky wink and on the way. Somebody asked a little bit ago on Facebook how I get clean. And the short answer is I don't. The long answer is after a ride. Today was 90 degrees out. I take a wet wipe and just start going to town. Now, you always want to go down when you do a wet wipe. It's not the best to go and start at the bottom and work your way to the top. That's absolutely disgusting. And so after you're done with a wet wipe, it's perfect for toilet paper in the morning. You can put that down and make sure that you don't need it. Sometimes you need more than one. I use about 4 or 5 each day. I'm tearing down the camp on the last night, sleeping next to the Trans-Canada Highway. I am back in Nova Scotia, and I'm heading towards Halifax today via Truro. I'm pretty excited to be on the last day. My knees are both shot and causing me a lot of stress and pain throughout the day, so stopping the bike ride will be great. But it has been a lot of fun, and I'm bittersweet sad about putting a pause on the adventure for now. But there's still a whole day left, and you never know what will happen. The ride in was pretty uneventful. I had forgotten what it was like to ride with that much traffic. Within Newfoundland, most people were very generous and gave lots of space. Making it into Halifax, I was able to meet up with Antoine, who's washing his hands behind and his head behind me, and Ryan, who left the scene just a moment ago. You'll see them in just a moment. We cut up some potatoes, fried some brats, and some egg and pepper for a little backyard barbecue. Their backyard was in downtown Halifax on the 6th floor. There we go. I spent some time wandering Halifax trying to find Fairview Lawn Cemetery. 121 victims of the Titanic are interred there. I never found that cemetery, but I think that you can tell a lot about a culture by how they treat their dead. Antoine here can't talk to me because the only words that he knows to describe the situation are in Italian. Ryan over here can't talk because he's too busy ironing a shirt. I feel out of place. There's Ryan over there on the left-hand side. He's talking with Antoine just right out of frame. That night we had a couple of friends over and decided to play a game of cards.
What's that?
As far as I can understand, it was Go Fish with drinks.
Can you see it now?
Every so often somebody would hand you a card and that meant you had to drink.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I didn't understand the rules, but I enjoyed playing the game.
Do it.
At the club there was a wheel that you would spin and it had to do whatever pizza slice it landed on. Antoine was up first. And second.
What kind of a spin was that?
Antoine ended on the buy your friends a shot now, which he promptly did.
Okay, no, why not? I'll get you here.
There is something for everybody at the club. We closed one club out and headed to another.
Hey, I'm sorry, I was smoking a cigarette, Patricia.
Oh no!
Oh no, Patricia!
Grandma's gonna kill us!
So off of a sweaty end of the day's ride, one of the traditions when you finish a cross-country route is to dip the wheels into the water at the end of a journey. Who am I to forget tradition? The next day, my hosts and about 40 other people went down to the pier to help celebrate the end of a trip. I wanted to make sure that I could dip my wheels in the water in my own unique way. It took about 4 different tries to get our takes, and in the end, Antoine went in to help.
In the harbor, Halifax. Just about to get my bike, which is here.
The bike was under 8 meters of water, or 26 feet. It took a few different breaths, but I was able to haul the bike out each time. I finally realized to hold on to the bike. Antoine offered to help me dive down and to get the bike, but there was no point to have 2 people wet and cold, and so I tried my best to get the bike. In the end, On the third jump, Antoine did jump in to help, but it was at that point we realized we could hold on to the bike. The bike was sitting on a bed of kelp, and it took about 3 different dives in order to recover the bike. I was tempted just to let it sit. Jump number 3.
Hold on to the bike. Oh, motherfucker.
Holding on to the bike, we decided to get for one more shot. Antoine got in to help me. And with this last jump into the harbor, I can now say the trip was done. I had biked to Halifax. For this week, our special thanks goes out to Antoine and Ryan, my hosts in Halifax, and to their friends who helped ensure that we could celebrate properly. As always, the title and the music was composed and edited by Patrick R. Patterson.